From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same, and we are here, and we are ready to go ahead and talk some sports. And let's go ahead and jump into it. Knicks get monster effort from their big three as they beat the Heat 112-103 to avoid elimination. Big game last night for their big three. Jalen Brunson was absolutely incredible. This guy has really been in his own world as of late. You know what I mean? In this playoff, every time I see the guy play, I'm just like, this guy is really good, man. And he's not getting enough love. You know what I mean? Because he really plays this game very easy. But he's such a dynamic leader as well, too. This goes all the way back to when he was playing at Villanova and winning 2 national championships in his 4 years being there as well, too. That's what made that run very, very, very good because the guy stuck around and he really won. You know what I mean? He really, truly won. Last night he had 38 points. He hit 4 of 10 from the three-point line, 10 of 12 from the free throw line, 12 of 22 from the field. Also had 9 rebounds, 7 assists. RJ Barrett chipped in with 26 last night. He hit 3 threes himself and also went 8 for 17 from the field last night, had 7 rebounds as well. Julius Randle had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He actually shot probably the best out the group. He only needed 13 shots, but he went ahead and went 7 for 13, and he hit 4 for 7 from 3. So he was on the money last night as well too. And other than that, everybody else just was there. But these 3 really did push them to the limit. They scored 88 of the 112 points that this team needed to win this game last night. So it was a very good definitive moment for this team. Now, the Heat, on the other hand, they had a little bit more going on for themselves outside of Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler didn't have one of these big, remarkable games that he's been having where he's dropping 42 and 55 and all that good stuff. Jimmy had 19, and he mostly was from the free, and mostly all that was from the free throw line. He went 9 of 11 from the free throw line, and he went 5 of 12 from the field, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Pretty staunch effort. Bam Adebayo could have did a little bit more in his time on the floor. He went 7 for 11. He should have shot the ball a bit more. He had 8 rebounds last night as well too, but he had 5 personal fouls. That was kind of what kept him in check last night. Strus was able to do his thing, hit 4 threes last night, 4 for 10, and he was able to go 5-11 from the field last night. And then the bench, you had Duncan Robinson actually be the 3rd leading scorer last night. He had 5 threes. He went 5 for 10, 50% from the three-point line. And then Caleb Martin went 50% from the free throw from the three-point line as well too. He hit 2 of 4. He had 11 points. So they had 5 guys in double figures last night. And usually when you get 5 guys in double figures, that usually helps. But none of these guys got over 20 points last night. So it was a good collective effort from a total team effort, but they were unable to get this one home because they just did not have enough for the Knicks last night. And a lot of people were looking at me crazy, but I keep trying to get you guys to understand that this series is long from over. I know a lot of people already had handed it to the Heat. A lot of people felt the Heat were going to win that game last night. But what happens in a game, in a series like this one, sometimes you lose a game that you're not supposed to lose. And I feel like the Knicks weren't supposed to lose game 1 or game 4. And I think that literally they dropped those games from just inexperienced and being a little bit too overexcited. But in games 2 and 5, they played exactly the way that you would expect the Knicks to play and how they've been playing all season. So the Knicks actually have had themselves, kind of a topsy-turvy season. And right now they're having a topsy-turvy playoff series. I feel like with the Knicks knowing that they have their backs against the wall, they're going to play very well in game 6 tomorrow. I have more for you as we get more news about game 6 tomorrow. But all in all, I like New York's chances over this weekend as well, too. And I got this feeling that we will be going back to the Garden Sunday for game 7. All right. So let's go ahead and move forward to our next topic, which is going to be the state of the Lakers. The Lakers. Lakers, man. I will say this. The Lakers have been very, very spotty, and the Lakers last night, no difference in what the expectations were last night. Nobody expected the Lakers to win that game, okay? But the Lakers did show some glimpses that, they are really not going to have that many issues with the Warriors. The Warriors just had some good, really hot runs. And how can you win when Draymond Green actually helps contribute to the scoring? Draymond Green had a 20-10 night last night. He had 20 points and 10 rebounds last night. He also had 4 assists, but he had 5 turnovers as well, too. He was being a little bit more aggressive and caught the Lakers a little bit by surprise. He actually had the best shooting mark of anybody in the starting lineup other than Gary Payton last night, who pretty much was getting wide open, pretty much had wide open shots. So his 13 came from being wide open all night. He went 4 for 4 he went 4 or 5 from the field and went 1 or 2 from the 3-point stripe. So, he was the big plus minus player for their team last night with plus 25 points. So he did make a difference last night as well, too. Draymond Green's 20 was huge, though. Wiggins, you were expecting Wiggins to finally to have himself a game where he scored 20 or better, because he's pretty much has been put into the scoring portion of the Warriors, him, Poole, Clay, and Steph now. But you had last night Jordan Poole finally come to the party as well, too. A guy that had scored just 11 points in the last 3 games, wound up scoring 11 points off the bench last night. He was able to hit some key jump shots when they needed it. And then also Kevin Looney had himself a pretty good game last night, getting 8 boards and actually knocking AD out of the game for the rest of the game. It was a little bit of a forearm shiver, nothing that looked too serious when you saw it on video, but it was something that affected AD, and he was not able to finish up that game. The biggest, brightest spot for the Lakers last night was Dennis Schroeder, in my opinion. Dennis Schroeder had a great game off the bench last night when going 6 for 11, 2 of 5 from 3. He was plus 14, and that was the best plus minus that the Lakers had last night. And I think that he was very effective in what he was able to do, and he actually was able to kind of eat into those D. Russell minutes a little bit last night as well, too. He got 28 minutes. Also, Lonnie Walker had 4 points last night. They kind of slowed him up a little bit as well, but he still did well. He had 4 points, 4 assists, and I think that he'll be. I know, knowing him, he'll be good. He'll be really good moving forward for the rest of the series. I think last night they just kind of had a plan for him in a sense, knowing that he was going to be in the game. And Rui Hachimura actually had kind of an off game again, second game in a row after having 2 really good games to start this series off with. But I think the most impressive player last night for the Lakers, all in all, was Schroeder. They got some good looks from Reeves last night as well, too. He went 3 of 6 from the 3-point line last night. But I think LeBron could have did a little bit more last night. He was 25, 9, and 3. AD was 23, 9, and 3. And AD, once again, had a big, big first half and then had a quiet second half. So they're going to have to fix that come Friday. And, I'll get more into it. But I just wanted to break down exactly what I was seeing the Lakers got out rebounded 48-38. That's not acceptable for a team that's trying to play the best defense they possibly can. The Lakers did not shoot that many free throws last night, even though there were a lot of fouls that did go uncalled, but that's okay because that's playoff basketball and it happens. And so the Lakers only had they matched free throws with the Warriors last night. They went 12 of 15, while the Warriors went 14 of 15. At one point, the Lakers were shooting 60% in this game. That's what kept them in the game, but they finished up a little bit under 50%, while the Warriors were over 50% last night. And the Warriors hit 13 threes. That can make a difference as well too, but the Lakers went 10 of 27 themselves. But the 14 turnovers apiece, that kind of was a draw in that regard. But I think what set the Warriors apart were the 9 offensive rebounds and the 8 steals that they had last night. Also the 29 assists as well too. So, pretty much that was the game and how it summed up. The Lakers were seen as not having a chance of winning this game last night. They wound up losing the game by 15. And also the Lakers did not win one quarter of this game last night as well either. But they did a good job of not getting too annihilated in the second half. They gave up 71 points in the first half. They gave up 51 in the they gave 70 in the first half, wound up giving up 51 in the second half. So the Lakers can take this into the next game, knowing that they haven't been allowing that many points at home to anybody as of late. So this is going to be a good game tomorrow night. I'll have the full breakdown for you once we get to tomorrow night. But let's go ahead and jump into tonight's games that we have for you. And we have 2 playoff games for you tonight as well, too. We got game 6 up first, Celtics and the 76ers. The 76ers lead this series 2-3 right now as well, 3-2 right now as well, too. They had themselves a very clutch win the other night that a lot of people didn't see coming. They were a 7.5-point dog in that game as well, too. And they went ahead and they took care of their business and got 33 points from Joel Embiid, but they also got 30 points from Tyrese Maxey. And they got a good, staunch effort from James Harden in the point guard role, because James Harden played absolutely lights out on managing the team. You know what I mean? He did a great job of managing the team on Tuesday night. And I think that's what put them over the top, because that's all what Joel Embiid needs. He needs a guy that's going to be able to score and dish the rock. He couldn't get that out of Ben Simmons, but now he's gotten that out of James Harden. They've been a great duo. 17 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. It doesn't matter about Harden scoring and shooting sometimes. Sometimes he just has to be able to engineer the offense, and he can make his impact on the game. By him being able to fall back a little bit and get Maxey the shots that he needed, he got Tobias Harris the shots that he needed. Daniel House Jr. was huge off the bench, scoring 10 points as well. So everything worked out in the right regard. And Tobias Harris getting 11 rebounds, leading the way in rebounding, was the big difference in this game. And then you got, once again, I say the keys to winning in the NBA, you got to really have 5 of your guys in double figures. But if you can get guys that score 30, 2 guys that score 30, and a few guys that chip in 15, 16, 17 points, you can get yourself a nice little victory. And that's exactly what happened here. They had 4 starters in double figures and Daniel House as well, too. But the 4 major starters did their job. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. You get 63 points from Maxey, then you add in another 33 from Harden and Harris. You actually wind up having 90. You actually wound up getting 96 points from your core of the team. That's absolutely tremendous right there. And then everybody else kind of just chipped in their little efforts and everything like that. So that was huge for them. The Celtics, on the other hand, very flat team the other night. The Celtics wound up, getting 36 from Tatum, but that was a tough 36. He went 3 of 11 from 3, 11 and 27 from the field. Majority of that came from the free throw line, where he went 11 for 13, but he had 10 rebounds as well, 5 assists. Now, Jaylen Brown was 50% from three, but he was awful from the free throw line, 3 of 8, and then he went 9 of 16. He could have did a lot better, 6 rebounds and 2 assists the other night. Marcus Smart had 14, and then after that, they had nothing. Their next highest scorer was Pritchard. Pritchard doesn't even get more than 10 minutes a game. So they didn't get much from Brogdon, and they didn't get much from Williams either. And they got absolutely nothing from Al Horford but some rebounds and some assists. But they need a little bit more from Al Horford, and he has to be better than 0 for 7. That was a big critical reasoning for why they did not win this game the other night and why they struggled so hard the other night as well too. Al Horford brings a lot of confidence to this team as well. So we're going to see how this one goes tonight, but I truly do feel like Boston is not ready to go home yet. And I think that the 76ers won a game that they couldn't even believe that they won the other night because Boston was just so flat, but Boston played so entitled. Now Boston has the motivation to show that, you know what, we may not win this series if we don't step it up tonight. If we come out here flat and expect that they're going to lay down anyway, we're not going to win anything. But if we come in here with the mentality that we know that we're down 3-2 and this is the season right here, I think Boston is good enough mentally to overcome whatever shortcomings that they do have and get this one and get this victory tonight so they can get back to Boston on Saturday for the decisive game 7. And I think that's exactly what the doctor is going to order tonight. And that's exactly what the NBA wants and needs. A Boston-Philadelphia game 7. And those always wind up being something that are very magical because we all know their history and everything like that. So it would be great to see the 76ers get over the hump with Joel Embiid winning the MVP and everything like that, and finally beating the Celtics after playing them in the last 3 playoffs and being sent home by the Celtics as well too. So this is a big moment for the 76ers. Can they close them out, or will it continue to be the Celtics beating the 76ers? This has been a trend since the 1960s. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it checks out, and we move from there. Let's go ahead and jump into our next group, and that's going to be the Nuggets and the Suns. This is going to be a good one right here. You got the Nuggets up 3-2 in this series, and it's been officially announced that Chris Paul will be out with the groin injury. I don't think Chris Paul returns for this series or for the playoffs, to be quite frank. But I think, though, at the end of the day, this could be the end of the road for the Suns. Now, when we look at the numbers from the other night with the Suns were very dependent on Booker and Durant. Those guys wound up getting 54 points last night. After that, the highest scorer that they had was DeAndre Ayton with 14 points. And pretty much that was the rest of the night. So they only got so much from their big three. So they really got 68 points from their big three. But then they didn't get much of else from anybody else. Terrence Ross had 9 points off the bench. That was good because he actually hit 3 of 4 from threes. Those were all of his shots as well, too. But after that, though, they just pretty much got some minimal efforts from the rest of the team. Cameron Payne can't make up for the points that Chris Paul will supply. Josh Okogie has kind of went into has went to abysmal slump. In a sense, he's not scoring points and he's not being the player that he's been advertised to be. I thought that Kevin Durant probably had his best game in the playoffs. He had 26 points, 11 rebounds. He really was trying hard to get this team the victory the other night as well, too. So it was really a bang effort for the Suns the other night, but they just didn't get enough. You know what I mean? They got 26 points from their bench the other night. And I think that they're going to need more. And after you throw out what Booker and KD did, you only got 22 points from the rest of the starting 5. So you just didn't get enough from the group. And that's just my bold opinion right there, that They just don't have enough to beat the Nuggets. Then when you look at the Nuggets stat line, they had 5 guys in double figures. Jokic had 29 and was able to add the triple-double. Jamal Murray had a pretty good shooting night where he went 50% from the three-point stripe and just a little bit under 50 in general from the field. Also, Michael Porter Jr. had a hell of a night. He wound up going over 50% from three and over 50% from the field as well, too. And he added plus 24 on the plus minus. But Aaron Gordon had the night of nights. He had 10 points to 6 rebounds, 6 assists, plus 27 on the minus boards. And then he had 3 very critical offensive rebounds as well. But the guy that put him over the top that made this game a blowout was Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown had 25 off the bench the other night. So that's what I'm talking about. When you look at the Nuggets, I think that MPG summed them up best, that he said that we're a big 6, we're a big 7, we're a big 8, we're a big 10. We got a lot of guys that can contribute to this, and nobody's really worried about who the star is going to be. That all goes back down to who Jokic is as a star of this team. Now, from what I'm hearing is that Jamal Murray and Aiden are both questionable tonight, so that kind of cancels out some things as well too. But I would say that once again, everything kind of favors the Nuggets tonight, in my opinion. The Nuggets are the number 1 seed team. They are a team that's much deeper and can get more from their guys as well, too. And I think tonight they'll probably play a little bit of Reggie Jackson as well, too. If you're having some issues with Jamal Murray, I think Reggie Jackson will get himself some playing time tonight, and that could be the difference in the game, because we all know that Reggie Jackson's a big-time player. So when I look to their bench and I look to the Phoenix's bench, I see guys on Denver's bench that can contribute and make up for the points tonight that Jamal Murray would supply if he's going to be out. But lots of times when they say that guys are questionable, they're pretty much going to play. So we'll see. They'll give us an idea of what to expect later on tonight. But all in all, I think what we do here is we look at the under in this game. I feel like there's going to be a lot of scoring coming from KD and Booker tonight, but will there be a lot of scoring coming from the Suns group? And do we know that you got to really check up in this game as well, too? Phoenix can't slack on defense in this game tonight either. That's what I kind of feel like. And I know Denver knows that they got to be tightened up as well, too. But Denver's done a good job tightening up in their 3 wins as well, too. And they did a great job tightening up in game 3. The only game where they kind of got loose in was game 4. So I think that what happens here is that you'll have I think that it says that I think that pretty much it will be a very good game, and I think that a lot of people will be very excited about what goes down tonight. I will keep it real with you. I really do like the Nuggets tonight in this game, but I think the best bet here is going to be the under. And also, it's you want to make sure everybody's 100% tonight. And I know that Aiden will probably be more of a go than possibly Murray, because Murray's dealing with an illness. So he's going to be a little sick tonight, but hopefully he can go ahead and try to have a Jordan flu game. You know what I mean? So with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into Blue Crew Daily, and we'll also jump into the MLB Thursday night as well, too. MLB, we don't have many games going on today. We only got 6 going on for the travel day today. And we got 3 coming up this evening. So when we get back, I'll go ahead and I'll give out scores and finals of the early games, and then we'll go ahead and we'll jump into the Blue Crew Daily and the games for tonight. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, breaking news, DeAndre Ayton is officially out tonight with a rib contusion. So that's something that you have to mark down for your notes with the that's something that you got to mark down with your notes for tonight's game, that there will be no DeAndre Ayton, rib contusion. He is out for tonight's game. So pretty much now they have to scramble a little bit here, the Suns, to see how they're going to be able to replace him tonight. Biyombo will probably get a lot of playing time tonight, and that's kind of good for the Suns, because then that means that they got a guy who's going to be a defense rebound first mentality, to where they don't have to feed him too much, and he probably will be trying to clean up points and things like that. So sometimes when you throw in a backup, this could be a wrinkle that can throw you off a little bit, but I think that you breathe a little bit easier if you're the Suns right now, because you are pretty much going against the Suns without their best defensive player, without their best interior player. So that's crucial, that's key, and that's pretty much what the breaking news is going on in that Suns game. If there's any more breaking news as we have the show going, I'll go ahead and I'll confirm that to you. But let's go ahead and jump into baseball. You know, I'm loving some baseball this year, man. Baseball is absolutely rocking this year. You know what I mean? So we got Blue Crew Daily today. We got the Dodgers take series in Milwaukee, beating Brewers 8-1. The only off day today for the next the next 2 weeks is today. So the Dodgers enjoy it, even though they had to jump on the plane and things like that. But they got home yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, so they were able to get themselves some good rest at home. And today, you know, you go to the ballpark for about an hour or two, go do some batting practice, field a little bit, then go hang out with the family for the rest of the day. So, you know, that's how it goes. That's how it's going to be. So I'm getting absolutely rocked and rolled this morning, because I had the Padres and Twins on the under, and it looks like that we're absolutely getting right to the border of the number not being there. Mets went ahead and got shut out. I had them on a 1.5 this morning. So to my clients, I'm very sorry that I jumped on the wrong side here. Senga was absolutely awful. He gave up 4 runs to start the game off and got no run supporting this bad boy. And literally, he got beat by relievers today. That's sad. You know what I mean? When you get beat by the relievers, it's pretty sad, dude. But, you know, sometimes when you start off in the first inning and you absolutely get wrecked, it's going to happen. So the Dodgers yesterday, big win yesterday, in my opinion, because they beat a Brewers team that is very good. The Brewers look like they're going to be the team here in the Central Division that's going to be the team literally all season that possibly will pick it up, because the Cardinals, you don't want to count them out yet, but at this point in time right now, they are way back. They are 8 games back. So they're gonna have to eat into leads when they get into these divisional matchups. But the Milwaukee Brewers are the team that I picked to win this division. So they're playing pretty much up to par, but they've struggled as well too. But this was a good win for the Dodgers, because this is a possible playoff matchup for the Dodgers. But they caught the Brewers at the right time. The Brewers absolutely have been awful this month, to keep it real with you. They are 2-9, and then they wind up dropping these last two in LA, and the Dodgers beat them 14. The Dodgers pretty much outscored them 14-3 after losing 9-3 to start the series off. So the Dodgers are in good shape, man. I'm keep trying to preach to the choir and say this, but the Dodgers are looking good right now. They're 7-2 here in the month of May. They've won their last 4 series in a row as well, too. So that's huge. They haven't lost a series since losing 2 out of 3 to Pittsburgh. And they've been able to take care of their business. They swept 2 of the series as well, too. So the Dodgers have actually won their last 10 out of 12 games, and that puts them in a good cherry spot ahead of the Diamondbacks, who were the leader of the division for most of the month. Now the Dodgers are plus 48 differential on runs as well, too, right now. So the Dodgers are playing great baseball, and they got themselves in position to be exactly where they want to be at this point. And it's only going to get better as we move forward to the summertime. But they have a tough series coming up this weekend. You got San Diego 19-18. They're over there looking like that. They'll possibly drop that game today against the Twins. But all in all, they're going to still be dangerous this weekend. But I will keep it real, though. San Diego is going to have to really show me something, because San Diego's actually dropped their last 3 out of 4 since playing the Dodgers. So pretty much they're looking to try to get this one home. They're looking to try to get this one to – they're trying to get this win today so then they can win this series, because they were able to win the Cincinnati series, but losing those 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers, that was kind of crucial. And that's put them in the position where they've lost their last 3 out of 5. And they're only 4-4 this month as well, too. So, this team is looking to try to bust a dent into that Dodgers lead, because they're 3.5 games back. So it's going to be a great series this weekend. We'll get more into it tomorrow as we talk about the weekend series for the Dodgers. And I even give you guys some weekend prices as well, too, for the teams that for the most important matchups for Friday as well, too. So you guys make sure to tune in for that. So let's go ahead and jump forward to our next topic, and that's going to be MLB Thursday night. We got 3 games tonight. We got 6 games on the day. And from what I'm seeing here, you got the Twins up 5-3 here in the bottom of the 8th, and then you have the White Sox and Royals, who are in the headed to the bottom of the 2nd inning. So those are our updates for scores. And once again, like I said, Mets lose to the Reds 5-0 today, shutout at the Great American Ballpark. So we have some really good games tonight, starting off with this divisional rivalry matchup between the Rays and the Yankees. Everybody who's on top of the AL East will be a Yankee rival. It doesn't matter. It's like a random situation, but the only rival that really gets acknowledged by them is going to be the Boston Red Sox. And then second would be the Baltimore Orioles. So the Rays, you still are kind of, just a team in the division, but you're playing the best baseball to start off ever for this franchise. So, going 29-9, that's a tough feat to do here in the first almost 40 games of the season. But here we are, the Rays, 29 wins, 9 losses. So today they have Drew Rasmussen on the mound, and Rasmussen has kind of been struggling in his last few games, but he looks to have another stellar start against the Yankees, even though he didn't get the win last time out. He struck out 6, walked 2, and only gave up 2 hits to no runs. Now, the 2 games prior to that, he gave up 8 runs, over 18 hits, and struck out 8, but walked 2. So, he's kind of been an iffy pitcher in a sense. He's kind of had it up and down. So either he's going to pitch really well, because in 4 of his starts, he allowed no runs. And he was good enough to get 7 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, and 6 strikeouts. But if he's not striking guys out, then he's getting hit. And I think the Yankees kind of got a bad taste in their mouth, because I know they felt like they should have won that series last weekend, because they did lose a game where they were up 6-0. So going into this one, Jermaine seems like he's starting to get very comfortable. He started the season off a little rocky, but these last two starts he's been really good. He went 8 1/3 against the Indians, striking out 6, only giving up a run and 2 hits. Then he comes back around. They played against the Rays. He went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs to 4 hits, and struck out 5 and walked 2. So it's good to have a turnaround against the same team, especially when they're a rival in the division as well, too. So today, I really do like the under, to be honest with you. I think that the under will be a very strong play in this spot. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But I like the under 8.5 here. And we'll see what these two are up to. I think that I lean a little bit towards Yankees for the winner of this game tonight as well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We moved on to the Rangers and the A's. The Rangers and A's, this is going to be a fun one tonight. You got a Rangers team coming in here with a 22-14 record. The A's are absolutely pathetic right now, but I told you guys this on 30 teams in 30 days that this team might break the record for most losses in a season because their team is not built to win at all. So pretty much right now, they have won 2 games this month, and they're 2-7, and they literally have lost the last 3 out of 15 games. So they are not good at all. So pretty much, people have to just understand that when you're dealing with the A's, it's a really like pulling teeth. But they got Eovaldi on the mound today for the Rangers. Eovaldi's always a guy that you gotta kind of take a double look at. Now he pitched 8 shutout innings against the Angels. He struck out 5, gave up 5 hits that day. He walked 2. Then against the Yankees, he actually went ahead and went the full game and went ahead and shut the Yankees out, gave up 3 hits, was struck out 8. And that was a good little revenge spot for him because we all know that he used to be on the Yankees as well, too. And he used to be a Yankee pitcher that used to absolutely get lit the fuck up, to be honest with you. Pardon my language, but I just remember Eovaldi really did not get it together until he got to Washington, and then Florida was a big help to him as well. But Boston really was where he made his mark at. So Eovaldi, he's on the downside of his career. So he had 2 really good outings last 2 times, but he had 3 outings where he really got shellacked in those games, especially against KC when he gave him 6 runs and 10 hits that day, but he struck out 7. But today they go against this A's team that has a pitcher that's somewhat of a spot starter. And the last time he was really active in the MLB was really 2016. He pitched 1 game with the Dodgers, and he's pitched 1 game with the A's this year. He's coming in as the spot starter. They did not name a starter, so that's why it took a little bit of a while. But in his 1 game that he pitched, he gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and 1 run. That's it. But he has a 9.00 ERA. But you got to look at what happened with the ERA. It's just because what happened in those games. Now, he's somebody that I don't take that seriously, but we just ran into a situation where the Reds threw out a pitcher that was a spot starter, did not do that well in the 10 games that they pitched in. They did okay. They only pitched an inning or 2, but it took a great effort from the rest of the team to go ahead and get these guys to win. This is the possibility that we have here with the A's. The A's, as soon as I looked at everybody on the schedule today, I told myself that most likely the team that's the biggest dog today will give us the biggest win today. So it winds up being the A's. I think the A's will play into the short day factor where you don't have a lot of games, you don't have a lot to reach out for, and this is a game that a lot of people will see on their desk as the game that's my lock, that's my alley-oop. They should win this game by 5 or more runs. The Rangers should not have any issues here, right? But this is a divisional game. These games are a lot different from, say, the Rangers playing somebody like the the Braves or somebody, an interleague game, or them playing somebody like, say, the Guardians. This is a divisional game, and these games, it does not matter what the records of the teams are. They're always 50-50 because these teams have big time advanced scouting reports on each other. They have all the notes on each other pretty much. So with that, I guess you guys know where I'm going with this one. I'm going to make this my dog of the day today. I'm taking this as a big plus 220 dog. Yesterday, we cashed out the Royals at plus 120 yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and go even bigger today with the worst team in baseball. And hopefully we can get them home with the plus 220 and they get themselves a cool little win this weekend to start this series off as well, too. So they got 4 games coming up against the Rangers, and hopefully they can go ahead and start off on a good foot. All right, so let's move forward and get into the last game of the night, and that's going to be the Giants and the Diamondbacks. The Giants coming here 16-20. Diamondbacks are 20-17. The Giants are the slight favorite tonight because they do have the better pitcher on the mound statistically, and Alex Cobb. Alex Cobb is pitching great baseball this year. He's only has a 2.01 ERA, and he did pitch 7 shutout innings in his last game against Milwaukee. That wound up being a win for him as well, too. He struck out 5 that day. And then in the prior game against San Diego, he struck out 7 and gave up 3 runs over 5 innings. But he also shut out the St. Louis Cardinals, and that was 4 strikeouts over 6 hits with 1 walk. So he's played some pretty good baseball, and he hasn't given up more than 3 runs in a game all season. So this is why Cobb does get a little bit of the love for this game moving forward, and it's all rightfully so as well too. But he's been having some issues where these guys have not been able to get him the run support that he needs, because he did spend his first 4 starts literally first 3 out of 4 starts with no decision. You know what I mean? Where he lost 1 game and pitched very well, but he couldn't get anything from his supporting group. So pretty much tonight, you're going against the Arizona team that's kind of fallen off a little bit because, they had some good mojo going to start the season off, but now things have kind of came down. Now they've kind of came back down to earth. They're 4-4 this month, and they finished the month very well last month because they played the Rockies. But they have ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw here, losing their last 3 out of 4 games, including the last 2 in a row against the Marlins. And the Marlins games were kind of a surprise because you felt like they had the better matchups in that series as well, too. So they start up a 4-gamer with San Francisco today, and this is critical to keep them in the mix as well, too. So pretty much I say to this tonight, I think that this is another game where they're going to overbet, and they're showing you a line that says that this really does favor the D-backs in a sense to win a close home game. But I think we can go ahead and spend a little insurance and ensure ourselves of a total win if they lose. So that means that I'm going to take the plus 1.5 on the run line. I know it's a little expensive, but I think that's the best bet in this spot. Even if they win, good for them. You can bet them to win as well too. But I just really feel like we could lose this game by 1 tonight as well too. So that's why I like the plus 1.5 to give yourself and give myself the opportunity to actually be in this game and not have to worry about winning the game. That's the whole thing. So pretty much there it is. That's going to be MLB Thursday night. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and take another quick commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to jump into Talking Tickets. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we're back, and let's go ahead and jump into it. And it's your favorite subject, my favorite subject. Let's get into it. It's going to be Talking Tickets. Now, Talking Tickets up first. We have ourselves the late pick 3, which is 9-1. I like the under 8.5 with the Rays and the Yankees. Also, I do like the plus 1.5 with the Diamondbacks tonight as well, too. And then we got our dog of the day. None other than the A's plus 220. Hopefully, we can get this bad boy home. I think we're about 1-3 with the A's as the dog of the day. I try to kind of not deal with them in that regard because they're a dog literally every single day. But today is a good day to pick on them because they're going against a rival in the they're going against a division rival in the Rangers, and it seems like they always do well against the Rangers in Oakland as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. Diamondbacks plus 1.5 tonight. I feel like they keep this game close with the Giants. If they don't win the game, then they keep it close enough to where they only lose by a run. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out in that regard. And then, like I said before, the under 8.5 with the Rays and the Yanks. I'm betting the pitchers duel tonight, and I think that game finishes up like 3-2, 4-2, something of that nature. I don't know who the winner might be, but I do like the under 8.5 tonight on that game. So with that, let's move forward and get into the NBA. Tonight, I like the 76ers game 6 bets, 76 Celtics 76ers game 6 bets. Sorry about that. I like the Celtics tonight with the minus 140 to keep this series going. All bets are off for Saturday, but I think tonight the Celtics go ahead and even this series at 3, and then we can start the hype fest on who's going to win on Saturday tomorrow when we review the game. But all in all, though, this is really the night that the Sixers have to try to close out this series, because if they don't close out this series tonight, the Celtics win this series on Saturday. I guarantee it. All right, so then we have the over 105 with the first half with the Celtics and the 76ers, game 6 bets. And then we have the first quarter with the plus half a point with the 76ers. So I'm betting on a tie or the 76ers to be slightly ahead here in the first quarter. But I do expect Boston to take over this game at some point and not look back. And then I do have Boston going over 108 team total points tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward to our final group, and that's going to be the Nuggets Suns game 6 bets. And then we have the under 226.5 here for the full game. That's the best bet I feel for the full game. I like the Nuggets first half plus 120. I think the Nuggets come out blazing in this game, especially knowing that they don't have to go against Aiden tonight. So that makes me really confident what Jokic is going to do tonight, making sure that all of his teammates are being fed properly and getting themselves some good buckets as well, too. And then I like the Nuggets in the first quarter to at least have the game tied up if they're not ahead. So I'm betting for the tie and being ahead. You know what I mean? But I'm really betting to be ahead. But it's okay, though. The plus 1, I feel like, is a strong bet here, a strong idea of what is to come for the night. So there it is with that. And then I'm going to just go ahead and just be real tricky tonight. I'm this confident in the Nuggets tonight that I feel like they'll win this game by 6 points or more. And honestly, I almost took the 8.5 because I feel like they're going to win this game by 10 or better, to be honest with you. So I like the Nuggets with the 5.5 plus 220 alternate line. Let's go ahead and shake things up a little bit, and let's see if we can get this bad boy home. All right, so there it is. There it is. Okay, so pretty much with that, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, you guys are the absolute best, and this is the Premier Sports Betting Show. the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. And as I always say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.